Hello and namaste to everyone. I am Motiram Sidapati and today we are going to learn about reading comprehension. In today's lesson, I have selected reading comprehension because reading comprehension is one of the most important skills for the students who are appearing for ACE and other reading comprehension related tests. So, if you are an SE student or if you are going to appear for the test like IELTS or TOEFL, this is the right segment for you and you will get ready by taking your pen and pencil and sitting nearby television because this lesson will provide you the lessons regarding solving reading comprehension. So, what is reading comprehension? First of all, we will be talking about the definition of reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is an active, interactional, and intentional procedure which gives you the idea, which gives you the understanding about the written text. It is to retrieve the information or deprive the information from the written text. Reading is only not dealing with the written symbolic code. It is to take out the meaning and the message that you go through. So, one of the famous person, Dr. Seuss has told, the more you read, the more you know. The more you learn, the more places you will go. So, reading has given you or it gives you plenty of exposure and it makes you deal with the problems and it makes you get the insight while you go through the reading process. So, let me talk about the type of text while you go through reading, especially if you are going to appear in SE examinations or some other examinations, especially I'm going to talk about ACE examination. You will be asked two types of text, seen text and unseen text. In seen text, you will be asked 15 marks question. That means there will be two questions. One question carries 5 marks and next question carries 15 marks. So, what you will be asked is you will be asked the contents from your book, and for that there will be no that much problem as you have already gone through the text and as you have already practiced those given text. But problem lies in the second text, that is unseen text. Second text is unseen text where you will be asked from the diary entry, timetable, product manuals, newspaper story, advertisement, manuals, emails, and somehow you can be asked from the menus and you can be asked from the notices as well. And these segments are very much essential, and for that you must manage your time to take out and read these all segments while you go for reading. And in unseen text, in number 15 or question that carries number 15, you will be asked storage, essays, letters, book review, film review, etc. So, if we talk about the total number that our reading comprehension carries, it carries 40 marks. Reading comprehension carries 40 marks, and if we talk about the percentage of reading comprehension, it equals 53%. So, if you work well, if you equip yourself well in reading segment, the possibility is there that you may secure higher marks, you may get good marks, you may secure good marks in your SCE exam. SCE. So, what type of questions are asked there? If you are already known about the type of question, I'll be teaching you about the methods. And if you have not known about the question pattern, I'll be telling you the question pattern as well. So let's go for the multiple choice questions first. It is called MCQ in SAT. Multiple choice questions are asked to assess your ability to identify the skills or to identify the segments or the content from the given one, because you will be asked one statement and that statement may contain many options. So if you are not clear, if you are not having the understanding about the exact reply, then you may lose your mark there. So here we must go for the proximal answer, the answer which lies near the statement. Suppose that if we are going to talk about the statement having many options, then we must use the principle of elimination here. So what elimination? If there are 4 options given, while going through the text, you must find out the distant word first. So, by the principle of proximity, you must find out the distant word and you must remove it from the list. Similarly, you go for the second and you remove it. And lastly, there will be 2 options available. And if you use your insight, then you can certainly or you certainly will write the correct answer in multiple choice questions. So there must not be any type of hesitation while you deal with the text. Your text must be relevant and your eyes should not go only word to word. Your mind also must remember what the text has stated and what was its meaning while you were going through the text. And if we just go to the match the following, there will be the words and the meanings given for them. So it is also one of the ways to make you learn or to check your vocabulary power. Especially in reading comprehension, you must have 2 skills. One, vocabulary skill, and next one, comprehension skill. So if you have learned many vocabularies and their meanings, there will be no problem in match the following. Match the following words with their meaning will be the instruction there. So you must try to find out what are the easiest words for you, and you must try to solve the question's answer from easiest to the most difficult. If you process in that way, there will be no problem and you can easily be able to solve match the following. And the last one, especially after selecting or after choosing the match the following segments and options, the last option that remains, you will automatically fit there. So your maximum problem will be solved. And after that, there is sequencing. Many of the students struggle here. Why do they struggle? I have experienced many of the students writing true and false in spite of sequencing. Because in my experience, what I revealed is they did not go through the instruction. They did not read the instruction well, and they thought whether the statement has told them to tick true or false, and they lost 5 out of 5 number. So if you are not reading the instruction and writing true and false in place of sequencing, then that is the greatest mistake and we should not do so. So to deal with the sequencing, you must learn you must remember the statement written in question. Suppose that if there is number 1 given for one statement, you read the statement for some time and then go for the reading passage, a reading comprehension. And after reading comprehension, did the content match or not? Did the content fall in the first paragraph in number 1 or not? If it does not fall, you indicate that, you underline that and go for the next one. So, you try to read the question and try to relate that question to the reading comprehension and try to locate the location where it lies with the pencil. If you try that, you can save your time and you should not go again and again to the text. That's the way you can minimize your time and you can also maximize your reading comprehension solution. And second, if you just go to the fourth line, there is short answer question. Number D, short answer question. If we talk about short answer question, let me talk about 5W1As. And if we talk about that, we can also say yes no question or WS question. So writer want to know or the examiner want to check your precise ability to identify the skills that you have. Suppose that where did the accident happen? If there is where question, you should not look other answers and you should try to find out the location or place. And especially for learning out or for finding out the places, we have only one option. If you are not known about that also, the place and the people, the name of place and people are always written in capital letter. So try to see the capital letters there, but it is not necessary that you will be writing all the places having capital letter there in answer, but you must have the general sense about the location of answer. And if you generalize that, I hope you will be finding out answer of where. And if the question starts from why, you must see the region and especially you must see the conjunctions here like in order to, because, so that, therefore, and if you use that and if you find the answers relating to that where and why, then you can solve that easily. And next one is who. Especially if there is who, you must write the name of person because who is used for the persons. And if there is what, you should use things or an object. And if there is how, you must think about the process, about the method, about the process or method of doing something or about something that happened. So in this way, we can solve short answer question. And if there is yes or no question, you should not bother. You should answer yes or no with the reasons, because only giving yes or no does not mean that you have supplied the correct answer. And the writer expects you to come with the logics, to come with the reasons. So it is better to provide the writer or to provide the examiner with the reasons. So in this segment, short answer question, what I have found is many students answered in such a way that they copy all the whole passage, especially if you are writing the passage or a paragraph, they have copied all the lines from the first paragraph, hoping that their answer may lie somewhere in the middle. And they may have hoped that they would secure good marks. But it's not true. You are not supposed to write whole passages, because reading comprehension does not mean you will be writing all the contents contained in the passage. You will only be identifying what the question has asked, and according to that, you will be assessed, you will be checked, you will be examined. So, never repeat that mistake, and never think that somewhere in the middle your answer may lie and you will secure the marks. So, it is the suggestion from our side. And number E, there is true and false. True and false I have already told you, and especially true and false, what the content tells. Especially, you must think about the meanings of content. It may have semantic meaning, it may have literal meaning, it may have contextual meaning, because a word can be used differently. As for example, if we take the word bank, it may be used for the place where we deposit money, and it may be used for the side of river or edge of the river. So what the context is, context, sometimes emotion, sometimes style, sometimes semantic meaning, determines the meaning of the words, and for that we must have the knowledge of content as well as context. So for that we must deal with the expressions as well. We can say, as for example, therefore, however, but, in spite of, even though. If we just go prior to these words, they just tell something, and if we go after these words along with those conjunctions, it may alter the meaning. So only looking the previous segment, we cannot say the statement was right. Then we must think, we must see the following segment only also. That's why we can get the exact picture of the content, and we can write true or false according to the content mentioned, according to the context that has given the demarcation line. And the last one is fill in the blank. Fill in the blank, especially it is to make the learners, to make the candidates write whether there is any mastery over the parts of speech or over the words which are asked in the passage. If you fill with the correct parts of speech, if you fill without any hesitation, without any type of confusion, then you will surely secure good marks there. Later on, I have already talked about the marks that you are asked in reading comprehension, because it carries 53% of your total number. Total percentage, if we talk about 75 marks, 35 marks is allocated for writing and 40 marks is allocated for reading. So it is more important than writing, and it does not take long time. It takes very less time, but it takes many strategies and manners to be dealt with. And I have talked about the type of questions there, and we must learn about the type of question, and for that we must consult the previous questions, and we must consult our teachers, and they will be providing you the knowledge, the ways, the methods. And if you don't have time, you can watch our program, and that program or our program provides you a lot of informations and insights. Let's go further. Then methods and manners to deal. I told you about the ingredients, about the contents, about the marks, and about the type of question. Now, you may doubt. I have only showed you the roadmap, but how to go there, how to deal with the problem, what are the methods and manners, you may have curiosity. You may have one type of passion to learn. So let's go further. First one is scanning. If your text is asking something, and if you are going to read the whole text, then it is not sufficient, it is not possible to finish the task on time. So scanning is to see or to find out specific information. If you are asked about the time, you just look the time. You don't look other people, person, other thing. You just go and look the timeline. Maybe in 2020, maybe in 2010, maybe in summer, in autumn, in the evening, in the morning, that type of timeline may be there. So you must be precise, and you can go for the specific information without going somewhere else and passing your time in unnecessary and unwanted activities, especially for the sake of solving the passage. Second one is skimming. Skimming is to get general information, to get the gist. For that, you must skim the text. You skim the text and you try to find out the relevant information from the given text. And after that, there is identifying main point. Yes, this point is very much important because a passage comprises main idea and supporting detail. Main idea tells about the main thing relating to reading comprehension, and supporting detail tells you what are the supporting factors that help the main topic to happen. So supporting details are given in examples. They tell something more about the main point. So if you just go for the main point and supporting details, identifying the detail and rubrics or main points or central theme of the passage, then you can easily save the time, as well as you can easily secure the marks you anticipated. Now there is another one, eliminating. We must not read all the passages thoroughly. And I must tell you that reading the passage thoroughly is killing the time. Because if we just see in the beginning of the passage, it has instructed you or it tells you, read the passage carefully and do the activities that follow. In my opinion, that must not be done. Because if you read the passage thoroughly without reading the question, you may be killing your time. So what I like to suggest you is read the question carefully first. Because if you read the question and if you come there to locate the answer somewhere in your reading passage, then you can save your time as well as you can get your answer. So don't read the passage from top to bottom. You read the question, take the pencil and locate the answer. And I mean to say, you can use the time by reading the question first and going to the answer later on. Because if you read the first question and if you answer that locating with the pencil, your problem will be sorted out. And next one is using license. I am not talking about the driving license. I am talking about license in the abbreviated form, in abbreviation. Li means locate, L means locate, I means identify, E means eliminate. It is not driving license, as I said. locate where does your answer lie. You must underline with the pencil. Then identify whether that is the correct answer you have been searching for. You must identify that. And if that is not your answer you have anticipated, you have thought of, then you should eliminate that, you should circle that. And after circling that, you will lessen your boredom and you will maximize your time and you will be solving maximum of the answers in the given time. So, use license not for driving but for reading, but for finding out the correct answer in the text mentioned. Now, there is dealing with prefixes and suffixes. It is very much easy strategy. It is easy in the sense that if you have not known the knowledge or if you have not known the complex words, the ambiguous words, sometimes your sense about prefixes and suffixes may work well. Suppose that if you are just known about some of the negative prefixes, um, ir, un, then you can easily get the negative meaning of that. Suppose that impossible, unhealthy, irregular, illegal. So these prefixes will give you negative meaning, and if you try to find out their meaning with the prefixes, it may save your time and it may give you or provide you with good marks. So you must be intelligent, you must be smart to operate the words. You must look the words by segmenting them, by fragmenting them, by dividing them into various parts. Managing the time. Okay, it is one of the most important skills for about reading comprehension. Managing the time is most crucial factor. You are given an hour and 15 minutes time and there are 40 questions for you and there is 40 marks. So how to allocate the time? For that, you can allocate 30 minutes for 15 numbers seen text and 30 for unseen text. That means it equals an hour. There remains 15 minutes time. That 15 minutes time can be given for 10 marks. If you allocate the time in that way, then there won't be the problem in solving your answers and providing the answers in the in the given time, especially stipulated time. And here managing the time, after that finding out the contextual meaning. It is one of the essential strategy. It is crucial one, because if you don't know the context meaning and if you are only working with the literal meaning of the words, then your answer may vary. It may be wrong, because sometimes a writer wants to state in such a way that he is in angry mood, and sometimes he can use the word or she can use the word according to the demand of context, demand of time. So in that time, we must keep ourselves on the shoes of the writer, on the shoes of the person who is writing the text. And if you do in that way, then we can easily get what the writer wants to express, what the writer intends, because the intended meaning, that means speaker's meaning, and our meaning may differ if we don't read keeping ourselves in the place of the writer. So there must not be any type of differentiation, and when we are going to read the text, we must think that we are in writer's place and we must change your life as writers there, and whatever content, whatever words and whatever context has the writer provided, we should try to think in that way, analyzing the points. Then activating prior knowledge, especially prior knowledge works most. Sometimes your previous knowledge, the knowledge that you have, because you are not going to solve the passage for the first time. If you are going to solve the passage for the first time also, you are not blank minded. Your mind has acquired, it has learned a lesson, it has acquired a large number of words, large number of or large amount of linguistic recipe. So you must retrieve some of the information from your mind, because if you receive the information or retrieve it from your mind, it actually and eventually help for answering the questions that are related to your reading passage. And if you don't use your prior knowledge, and if you try to use only the knowledge that is given in the reading passage, sometimes your opinion based questions may be wrong, because your opinion, what the writer wants to check, may go if you only confine yourself with the reading text. And next one is analyzing the positive and negative details. Sometimes the reading text may convey both the meanings, positive meaning and negative meaning, but it depends on your perspective, how you are going to evaluate the meaning conveyed by the writer. Because if you just generalize, or if you just think, or if you just opine the writer's meaning in your own way, and if there comes contradiction, then you will not be supposed as the good reader. As the good reader, you also must accompany the thoughts that writer has expressed. If your thoughts and the thoughts given by the writers differ, then you will not be the good reader. Good reader should only see what the text is going to tell. And if you see in that way, then your reading and writer's writing may give the same meaning, and you may be sailing in the same boat with the same purpose and the same intention that everyone wants to receive from the written text. Next one is focusing on emphasizing words. It is very much important, because when we go through the text, we find the words like only, but, however, so that, therefore, in order that. But if we don't pay our attention to these words, we may lose the meaning that is intended to be delivered by the words. So we should underline these words and read before and after the text. And if we read in that way, then our half problems will be sorted out, and it will basically, or it will particularly help in true and false, as I have already stated. So these are some of the strategies and manners about dealing reading comprehension. Now I am going to tell you, or I am going to summarize the lesson today. The summary is, we must not rush while going through the reading passage. We must be patient. Patient means we should have the faith and we should have time. We should not be rushing in the examination, and we should save our time. And next thing is that we must read the instruction carefully. Without reading the instruction, we should not move forward. Then we should manage the time. If we are not the good manager, then we cannot think, or we cannot expect that we will be securing good marks in SE. Next thing, we should be cool and calm. We should not be hurrying, or we should not be rushing to the text or to the answer. And while we go through the text, we should not read the passage first. We should read the passage first, and we can just save time, and that saved time can be used in writing segment as well. And if we do all these things, and if we use license, if we just use our strategies, if we use the contextual meaning, given meaning, speaker's meaning, intended meaning, and if we try to write the words with the knowledge of vocabulary, then with the contextual knowledge, with the text knowledge, then we can easily get the desired marks in our SE. Now, I would like to suggest you that if you want to better your progress, then you must read some of the English newspapers, you must watch some of the English programs like ours, and you must read some of the books, novels, science fictions, stories, essays, letters, diary entries, and so on. And these are the ideas that may help you get the desired mark, and that may help you benefit from the test, and that may maximize your percentage in SE. Today, we talked this much about reading comprehension, and I also want to tell you, if you have some of the problems relating to our reading comprehension passage, we always look forward to receive positive feedbacks and comments from you to our program. And if you want to learn more about some of the other segments that may be beneficial for your knowledge, you can forward your messages to us and you can comment to us. That's the way we can improvise the condition and standard of our program, and hoping that your suggestions and feedback will be coming in the further days, and thinking that you will be utilizing, you will be implementing all the strategies in your reading comprehension segment. I would like to end this lesson today. Thank you. Have a good time ahead.